Good afternoon, teacher. I'm going to talk about Chernobyl disaster, the world's man-made disaster in human history. Okay, first, where is Chernobyl? Chernobyl is about 19 kilometers north of Kyiv and 116 kilometers southwest of the Belarus Russia city of Komal. Before its evacuation, the city has about 14,000 residents, while around 1,000 people live in the city today. Okay, Chernobyl built in 1978 to 1979. Chernobyl. Okay, a reactor plant scenario. First, as the reaction occurred, the uranium fuel becomes hot. Second, the water pump through the core in pressure tubes remove the air from the field. Third, the water is then boiled into steam. Fourth, the steam turns the turbines. Fifth, the water is then cooled. And sixth, then the process repeats. Day of disaster. Prior to the explosion, the power can cut to the power station to simulate a power failure. Emergency generations did power up to continue the flow of cold water to keep the nuclear fuel cold. However, because of the time delay between power failure and the generation kitchen, and because of the power source, one of the generators did kick in, overheating occurred, leading to a series of explosions. It was reactor 4 that experiences the series of explosions released reactive fuel and reactive material into the atmosphere and surrounding the area. The radiation level in the world hit area of the reactor building were estimated to 5.6 ranges, and unit of measurement for exposure to reactions per second, which is the equivalent to more than 20,000 um, roentgens an hour. A lethal dose of the reaction is around 500 roentgens over 5 hours. So in some areas, workers receive lethal doses in minutes. External fires around the plant were extinguished uh, within 5 hours, but fires within the reactor continue until 10 May in 1986. Helicopters were used to drop sand, clay, and lead onto the reactor, but also firehydrants off the ground were used. Despite the massive reaction, like the nearby town of Pripyat was not evacuated for over 20 hours. The town has a population of around 5,000 at the time of the accident. When the evacuation warning eventually came, people were told that it will only be temporary and that they should leave all their belongings behind. However, a 13 kilometers explosion zone still exists around the town, although some older residents have now chosen to move back, as well as causing a massive radiation lake around the plant. A radioactive cloud was also released into the atmosphere. The USSR authorities did not notify the world straight away of the accident, and it was actually another power station in Sweden that first detected the cloud. The cloud contained 400 times more reactive material than the Hiroshima bomb that hit Japan. All of the Europeans received fallout from the cloud, although it is estimated that up to 15% fell off Russia, Belarus, and the Ukraine. Summary of facts: April 26, 1886. Chernobyl nuclear power plant operator errors caused a reactor explosion. Explosion released 190 tons of the reactive gases into the atmosphere. Fire started that last 10 days. People: 7 million live in contaminated areas. 3 million were children. Wind carries reaction for distances. Reactive payload. Direct casualties: 5.5 million people still alive in the contaminated area. 31 people died in 3 months of reactive poisoning. 134 emergency workers suffer from acute reaction sicknesses. 25,000 rescue workers died since then of diseases caused by reactions. Cancer afflicts many others. Increased birth detects miscarriage and stillbirths. Indirect casualties: by the year 1000, there were 1,800 cases of thyroid cancer in children and adolescents. High number of suicides and violent deaths among firemen, policemen, and other recovery workers. Environment impact: areas still impact today: soil, groundwater, air, food, crops, livestock. Problems today: the sarcophagus. After the disaster, a huge cement box was built around the reactive material. It is falling apart. According to a 2003 report by the Russian Atomic Energy Minister Alexander Rumyantsev, the concrete shield surrounding the Chernobyl nuclear reactor is in real danger of collapsing at any time. A new sarcophagus is scheduled to be completed in 2009. Thank you.